Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. Let's talk about some tactics men use to get women attached to them both in relationship and marriage.
The number one way to get women to go crazy over you, to go crazy attached to you. Y'all ready for this? It's one simple tip. Don't care. Don't care about her. Don't put too much thought. Don't put too much emotion inside this woman. Don't be attached to the outcome. You just here to have a good time. And when you have this energy, it's going to pour out. So she's going to know, okay, this dude really don't care about me like this. And it's different to her. It's going to hit her ego because she's so used to all of these simps commenting on her DMs, swiping up, approaching her in person, taking her on these dates, double texting her. She's used to this simp behavior. So when you exude something different that she's used to, she's going to be like, damn, this dude is different. It's going to make her mind wonder. Now she's chasing your validation. Now she's chasing you. Now before you know it, she's double and triple texting you, taking you on dates, asking you to go on dates now. You know what I mean? Now she is fully developed into you to the point to where now the game is easy. Now you don't have to put in too much work no more. All you have to do is just stay the same. Don't care. Don't be clingy. Don't switch up. Stay in your masculine frame. And your dating life will change, guys. I'm telling you, from my experience, I do this all the time. It's just embedded inside of me, right? And I have success. Even with 9s and 10s, it don't matter. They all the same to me now because I come into the date or I come into the interaction of like, it is what it is, dog. Like, you gonna stay or you gonna go, but it don't matter because I'm already on to the next one. Because that's their mindset too. In the modern world, women just don't have one guy they talking to. They have multiple guys that they're talking to. They're trying to find the best option for them, right? And depending on what this woman is going on in her life, she probably want a fling, she probably want a simp, she probably want a relationship. But you need to stay the course. You do not care about these women like that. Don't let this woman ruin your day or your night because she did something different or she went with another guy or she's craving attention and validation and she ghosted you. This shouldn't even matter to you. You should be like, okay, on to the next, because you should be already having options. You should be already on your purpose. You should already have an exciting life, right? The game is cold out here, man, and you need to play the game to survive in this dating world. If you're trying to play it as a nice guy, you will always finish last and you will have to pick up the pieces of your heart because you're going to wear it on your sleeve. So don't care about these females out here, man. Don't do it. Like and share this video, man.
It seems to be all about game for most men out there. I'm not in any way saying that we don't have women out there that play games, no. But believe me, we have more men playing games in relationships than women. And I think the reason why we have women playing games in relationships is because women clocked what men were doing. How can you see your fellow human as a tool to use for game? Like, it makes no sense. I get what he said when he mentioned that women don't date one man at a time. Not all women. Some women would rather date one person at a time. If they feel like this person is not the person, they leave that person and move on to the next person. Because for me, I think it's easier, but some people would argue and say it's a waste of time. You should have 3 to 5 men at the same time. Don't get things mixed up. I'm talking about dating, not proper relationship. Talking stage is what I'm on about here. So if you really want to date a modern man, it's either you're playing the game or you're losing out. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all men are this way, but a lot of men out there are this way. They are all about game.
How to make a woman obsessed with you. Starting off with number 1, do not be an open book. I'm saying this because girls love a mystery guy. Even though they will ask you all these questions trying to get to know you, trying to figure out every little thing about you. Deep down, they want you to be a mystery. But there are things about you that they just can't figure out. This will drive them crazy in the best way possible because it will make her think about you non-stop. She'll spend so much time doing so that she will literally become obsessed with you, G. Moving on to number 2, this is called the obsession trap method. This honestly is the only method you need. If you are trying to get her as obsessed with you as you can, if you do this even a little bit, she will be constantly swiping up on your story every time. You just gotta be smooth when you talk to her. This doc with over 30 conversation starters for IG, in person. Even got some deep conversations in here. You want the list, comment sauce, and I got you. Try not to abuse that sauce because you don't want it to get burned out. For number 3, that girl is obsessed with you if she is watching your IG stories. You can see this by hitting share and going to IG direct. If you see some random account that you don't know in there, it's probably her stalking from a burner account.
The very first thing that makes all women super attached is the possibility of him committing to her. Okay, so this is going to go against what you've heard a lot of times, because what you've heard throughout time on the internet is things like, all you have to do is do self-improvement. All you have to do is follow red pill theory. Okay, I'm here to tell you first and foremost that nothing is more attractive to a woman than when you frame yourself as potentially being attainable to her. Okay, when you're attainable, I need you to think about this for a second. What is attraction to a woman? Attraction to a woman happens in that stage called what if. And that stage called what if is when she's just a little bit in limbo, wondering what you're going to do next, wondering, is he going to commit to me? Is he not going to commit to me? Do we have something that's a fairy tale? Do we not? Okay, these are the images, and these are like the perceptions in her head that are constantly running through. So I'm going to read this point one more time. It's not you committing. Just hammer this point into your head for a second. It's the possibility of him committing. Possibility. Potentially this will happen. She sits in that what if factor, and that what if factor, it drives them wild. You're going to be the guy where it's all that they can think about. You're going to be the guy where it's all they want. Okay, this is the very first thing. It's not you committing. It's the possibility that down the road, this guy might commit to me. That attainable factor is so important.
Relationship with men is like a difficult sport. You can't be in a relationship with men and have peace of mind anymore. Did women ever have peace of mind being in relationship with men? I'm not generalizing. I know they have exceptions out there. There are some good men out there. Good men that understand life and humanity. So the reason why men came up with all these numerous games, strategy, the whole tactic, it's for them to continuously have women depend on them, for them to continuously be in control. It's all about control. They are fighting for control. So you want someone to depend on you so you can have the upper hand and control the person. That is it. That is what they talk when they come together. That is what their plans are. Oh, I need to be in charge. I need to make sure I'm controlling her. I need to put her in her place. Don't worry. Once I get married to her, she will be underneath me. I will clip off her wings. I literally do hear men tell their women they're going to clip off their wings. It's crazy. So just understand that men are thirsty for control, controlling women. They dream it, they think about it all the time. They want to control someone that they cannot create. Let's talk about women sharing their experience and what they wish they knew before getting married. Let's have a look.
All I've ever had was my voice and my vulnerability, and I just feel really called to share my experience, even if it feels really embarrassing. So I wrote everything out. I didn't want to lose focus, and I didn't want to make this a drawn out video, but I'm just gonna start sharing. I want to share my story because I know I can't be the only one going through this. I was in a relationship where I felt completely secure. I felt seen, heard, and valued. I truly believed that getting married would only make us stronger. But after we got married, everything changed. And it wasn't because of him directly. It was because of his family's influence, something I wasn't prepared for. I had never even heard of the term enmeshment. I literally just learned that word yesterday, and I'm 32. So I've never heard that term before, but I am suddenly living it. Enmeshment is when a family is so emotionally entangled that there are no real boundaries, and loyalty to the family comes above everything, even a spouse. And I didn't realize how deep it was until after we got married. Looking back, there were signs, but I didn't see them as red flags because there wasn't an obvious problem before. There wasn't some huge family drama early on that made me take a step back and analyze. But enmeshment isn't always obvious until you're in a situation where your partner is forced to choose between you and their family. So here are some things that I had wished I paid attention to sooner that I would really like for you to reflect and ask yourself. Did your partner grow up feeling guilty for saying no to their family? Do they struggle to set boundaries with their parents or siblings? Do they get anxious or defensive if you bring up concerns about their family? Do they feel like choosing their spouse means betraying their family? I wish I had seen how he handled real conflict with his family before we got married, because once we did, I started noticing things that I had never seen before. The hardest part is that before marriage, I never questioned my place in his life. I always felt chosen, and I always felt like a priority. But after we got married, I started feeling like I was suddenly competing with his family, and that is one of the most painful feelings. To go from feeling completely secure in someone's love to feeling like you have to fight for your spot in their life. If you're engaged or you're in a serious relationship, this is my warning to you. Pay attention to the family dynamics. Watch how they handle conflict. Don't assume that just because everything feels great now, it will automatically stay that way after marriage. Because when family pressure comes into play, if your partner doesn't know how to set boundaries, you'll be the one who suffers for it. I wish we had done premarital counseling. I wish we had talked more deeply about family roles, expectations, and boundaries before we said I do, because I never expected to be here.
Marriage is not a child's play. Marriage is a serious business. And if you're getting married to a man that has a relationship with his family, like she said, you might want to look into it. Because at the end of the day, you might end up like her, where the man has to always choose his family above you. Relationship, marriage should be partnership, and it should have strong boundaries. I'm not saying that because you got married, you should forget your family that has been there for you. No, you should have boundaries, because some family members don't have respect, and some family members might even struggle with accepting the man's wife or spouse. So it is the man's responsibility to have those boundaries and make the family understand that I am in a partnership with this person. It is not in your place to set those boundaries. It is not in your place to fight for a spot. Like, it's crazy. So you got into a relationship with someone, or you got married to someone, and you're fighting for your spot in that person's life, and that's your marriage. The man is always choosing his family above you. You're obviously alone. You're obviously by yourself. That is not a marriage. It's a very sad one for her. I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know how that is going to be resolved, but please, you need to look deeper before choosing a spouse.
So dumb.
People might want to know what we think.
Okay, things we wish we knew before we got married.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I thought of was that I wish I would have known that the first marriage is like a practice. It's a practice round. It's like rough draft, sloppy copy.
Sloppy copy.
We'll do better the next time.
Okay, that's good.
That kind of thing. I don't think our 20-something-year-old selves has any business picking out life partners.
Because we didn't think about anything.
We've talked about this before. It's literally, who are we dating around mid-20s? Mm-hmm. And that's who we end up marrying.
And it's not like they were horrible people.
Like you said, it's almost like it doesn't matter who it is. Mm-hmm. It's just the timing of it.
I would have married anybody.
Had they asked?
In my 20s. Yeah. But now I'm like the opposite, where it will have to be an absolute miracle to get me to settle down again. Okay, what's your next one?
That if anything doesn't sit right, doesn't feel right, to walk/run away.
Mm-hmm. And that anything that doesn't feel right, marriage won't make it feel better. It'll probably emphasize it.
Marriage will not make any problems you have better, nor will having kids.
Yeah. Everything that I had on my list all had to do with talking about things before you get married, which now I understand why people do marriage counseling before they get married.
What, making sure you're aligned with
everything.
Kids, financials.
But even the littlest things, like all the expectations. Who's expected to do the laundry? Who's expected to do the dishes? Are these 50-50? Are they 70-30? Talking about everything that might come up when you are doing life with someone. Something I wish that I knew before I got married was when you get married, you're sharing a room with a boy for the rest of your life. You go your whole life either not sharing a room or sharing a room with a sibling, and then you just have to share a room with a boy. Like, you have to prepare for that.
I think you prepare with all the people you live with before.
Oh, yeah.
At least I did.
I never lived with anyone before my husband. So he was my first, man that I lived with and shared a room with.
I wish someone would have told me that you're supposed to marry your best friend. Mm-hmm. And aside from you, that your partner should be your best friend. I didn't think about that. Why did I not think that was important?
Yeah, I think we were just more focused on what we should be doing in our 20s.
Getting married,
and having kids. And buying a home. instead of like, are we happy? Are we compatible?
You want to make sure that you want to have relations with them for the rest of your life. And if you see that being an issue, then there's no such thing as a healthy marriage if there are secrets.
Yes. Yeah.
Little secrets, big secrets, any secrets. I'm not if you told me a secret, I wouldn't need to tell that. But between me and my partner, no secrets.
Watch out for those red flags.
Big red flags, and if there's red flags now, there's going to be red flags later.
Marriage doesn't fix it.
No, makes it worse. These are kind of specific.
I'm like in this weird phase or stage right now where I cannot picture myself living with someone. I went from living with my parents to living with my husband for 13 years to now living by myself for 7 or 8 years.
Right.
I don't know if I could then go back to living with a boy, but maybe if I really liked him, I would want to. Like that's what you're experiencing.
That's how I feel.
Because you didn't feel like you wanted to, but now you're like, oh, I really like this person. So
Right.
So maybe I just
can
need
see
to
it.
really like someone.
I think that's the trick.
I'm okay going to their house and respecting their vibe, and they can come to my house and respect my vibe, but like living together, I don't know if I could do it.
Who even came up with the idea that you must stay in the room with a man because the both of you are married? I've been thinking about this for the longest time. And do you know what's coming to my mind? Men. Obviously, men. The patriarchy system. And do you know why that is so? So men can easily have access to a woman's body and free access to sex all the time. That is all I can think of. Because that's the invasion of privacy, invasion of space. Not because you're married means that you're no longer an individual. Both of you can have separate rooms. I've met people that are practicing this. I'm not going to lie. I've also spoken about a top celebrity, a very popular person in the US. I've forgotten her name. She went on a podcast and spoke about it, how she and her husband don't even live in the same house. That one is a stretch. I'm not talking about you not living in the same house, but she said the both of them don't live in the same house. It's not even like they live in the same street. They live far away, but they are married. And she said that strengthened their marriage, and they've been married for a very long time. They don't have marital issues. I'm like, okay, cool. I think sometimes people need space. You can do maybe living in the same streets, maybe have different houses, but living close by, or staying in different rooms. Because having someone all up in your face all the time can also lead to marital issues. Honestly, sometimes you need space to breathe, to think, to be your own self, your own person.
Did you know that if you're not married in today's society by the age 30, you have statistically successfully avoided your first divorce? Congrats.
I got married at the age of 23. And what I wish I knew before getting married, before my brain developed, is that I wish I would have went to therapy first. I wish I would have healed my mother wound and processed a lot of my trauma and my pain before making a life-altering decision that would affect my life for a very long time. I wish I would have known that creating a family of my own wasn't what was going to make me happy. What was going to make me happy, that I now know at the age of 44 and newly divorced, is that I needed to heal my stuff. That the longing that I had for parental love, I was looking for that in a marriage. I was thinking that, or I thought that if I create my own family, then I'll be happy. But that wasn't the case. And so if I could go back to that version of myself would have went to therapy first, would have healed, and realized that there was no rush, that I can take my time, that I can get married later in life, that I didn't have to get everything so quickly. And now as I think about that chapter or that season of my life, I'm spending time to go back and heal the 20-something-year-old me who thought that that was the right decision at the time. And that's okay. There's no regret. I don't see it as a failure. It served its purpose. And now I get to go back and heal that version of myself and give her the love that she needs. And I love that for me. If this has resonated with you, go ahead and save it so you can come back to it, reshare it. And also, I would love to know in the comments, have you made a decision in your life that you knew wasn't necessarily the right decision, and there was another choice that you could have made that would have made things a little bit better? I would love to know. Have a great day.
A lot of people see marriage as an escape route from toxic family, trauma, poverty. They use it for financial breakthrough, for so many other things. And it's not supposed to be so. Getting married young might not work for everyone. And when you hear people share their experience and say, oh, I got married so young and it worked for them, ask them what exactly do they mean by it worked for you. Is it because you had your children early, or is it because the man is a good man? Because I've seen people have this back and forth, especially when people talk about, oh, don't get married young, or don't get married in your 20s. Women that actually got married in their 20s, they become very catty, they feel triggered, and they see the need to always explain. They would usually target the best decision ever, but you need to look deep and see if it's the best decision ever. The most important point they're always quick to pull up is the fact that they have their children all grown, or they give birth earlier and their children will be grown when they're in their 30s and 40s. That is the most important thing they pull out of it. Even while you have them dragging back and forth in the comment section trying to make their point, reading their comment closely, you would also notice some of them regretting, saying that, oh, they paused their life, they didn't know who they were, they had identity crises and all that. The reason why people would always speak against getting married in your 20s is because they need you to have that space to experience life as a human. You were not brought into this world just to procreate. You were brought into this world to have your own life, to live your own life, to experience your own life. And that's the reason why a lot of people will always speak against getting married early as a young girl, because the moment you become a mom, it's very difficult for you to balance your marriage, your life. What is common there is, once a woman becomes a mom, she loses her identity. She makes her life all about her child, or all about her children, and also her husband. So where is you in the picture? Missing. So when people talk about it, I don't see any need for people to feel triggered, because women that got married early usually feel triggered when people talk about it. They always have this feeling of, oh, they missed out. The next line of action for them is to become defensive. I've also seen people that got married so early and they were also able to achieve what they wanted to achieve in life. They have their children and they have their careers, their business is running for them in their 30s. That also happens, but it's not always common. It's not that common. You need to have a good family, you need to have a good husband for that to happen, but that is not always the case. If women were getting rewarded by when they had their children, I think every woman would want to have babies once they hit 10 years old. And there is no guarantee that your child you sacrificed your life for will always be there for you. There are numerous cases of children abandoning their parents later on in life, not wanting to have anything to do with them, even cases where those parents were not toxic to them. So you don't know what the future holds. You have your own life to live. Birthing a child does not mean that that child should take your life away from you. Birthing a child means you gave life to that child, and that child has got his or her own life to live. What about you? Think about it.
I thought I was healed until I met my husband. My husband showed me parts of me that I had never even reopened. Vulnerability, affection, a lot of the ooey gooey softness that I reserved for just my kids and myself. It was so uncomfortable being that way with another person. I felt naked. I had never been with somebody that made my inner girl feel safe. I realized that I had been in protective mode for a very, very long time, and it felt so good to be able to take that off of me while still, of course, knowing how to protect myself, but just in a completely different way. There's a lot of things that I learned and healed when it came to myself, but I was able to even get to a completely different level because I'm with someone that allowed me to completely go back to being the little girl that I used to be, unsilencing all the things that I was suppressing and learning that there are other places to be safe outside of my own bubble that I create for myself.
When you live with somebody that you've not lived with before, it starts to expose who you are. I think they say like marriage is a mirror. It exposes like the things that you carry. And one of the things that I thought I dealt with that I hadn't dealt with was anger. It got to a place where my anger took over. We didn't like each other a lot of the time because he felt like I was disproportionately like reacting to things, and I felt like he was disrespecting my opinions and whatever. I became really down actually in the marriage, and I had to come to God and tell God that I was disappointed because this is not what I waited for. And God was literally turning the mirror back on me and saying like, well, what about what you're doing? Is it right? You can be angry, but you know, the Bible talks about do not sin in your anger. And I was doing things that were just unnecessary. And I had to get to that place where I was of I guess, repentance and saying to, you know what, God, there's things I've said to my husband that has really hurt him. And it's sown a bad seed. I was not even focusing on the things he did. And I had to literally go before God and say, God, you know what, forgive me. And please let my husband forgive me.
We listen and we don't judge. That's the name of the prayer room that we started 11 weeks ago tonight. And the reason is this. I'm 66 years old. I've been married 33 years. And I'm going through a divorce. I didn't ask for this. I never thought I'd be in this place. And I found myself facing things that I never thought I'd face. And I'm going to make it. I found out 11 weeks ago tonight that my husband had been filing our taxes as a sole proprietor for over 22 years. And I didn't know that until I filed my Social Security. And then when I filed my Social Security, I couldn't understand why it was so little. Well, then the contract that we had with our company ended on January the 31st. So I got online to file his Social Security. And I was like, wow, how is this so much bigger? So I contacted Social Security and they said, oh, well, the only income that you've shown in the last 2 decades is other jobs. You're not on the contract with LLC Corporation. And I'm like, but I am. And God allowed me to find the paperwork. I found the paperwork 3 weeks ago tonight. But before all that, I went to Social Security and they told me they'd have to make an appointment by phone. And they did. I went to IRS and they said they could only go back 4 years. Listen closely. Only 4 years. So if you're holding a bunch of paperwork, don't worry about it. They won't go back after 4 years. They told me to go back further than 4 years, I would need an IRS attorney. And so when I told them what my husband had done, they said, we'll go back and research it to 2002 when it started. The cost will be $9,125. But don't worry, you can pay it out $200 a month. I'm not paying it. I didn't do it. He did it. So, they said the best thing that we can advise is to put both of the checks together and split them down the middle because I'm not staying with someone I don't trust. I've spent the last few days packing and the house will be on the market next week. So this is the visual. Let me show you what the shower is looking like. Excuse the mess, but the shower was the last thing we were waiting on to put it on the market. And it's being worked on and hopefully completed by this weekend. This is the Japanese shower doors. So just to give you a synopsis, packing, running everything through the dryer. To give you an overview of what everything is looking like for me, I'm emptying closets, running linen through the dryer, emptying out closets, got everything down there. It was my dream bathroom. It took me many years to accomplish this, and then for nothing. Because now someone else will enjoy it, but that's okay. That's okay. I have a tub here. And the closets are empty now. And the only thing that will be left in this room will actually be for staging. I worked very hard to get my views to 10,000 so that I could have an income, since that affected my Social Security. And I can't thank all of you all enough. I'm not down about this. I already have the floor plans of the house, the tiny home that I'm going to have. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful. I have all my ducks in a row, so I'm going to be okay. I just covet your prayers, and I pray that whoever comes on my page just goes through my videos and loves me and supports me enough to go out this door. I have some things I'm putting on my showcase, and I'm going to work. I don't want anybody to give me anything. I'm going to work for it. And I just pray that y'all stick with me and go with me. I'm going to show you every step. I'm going to show you when I go out the door for the last time. I'm going to show you my land when I find my land. Of course, with some privacy there. And then I'm going to show you when they break ground for my house and my tiny home. And it's a little under 700 square feet. But counting the pitch of the house, it's like over 1,000. But they said you only count what's under heating and air. But it has a wraparound porch. But God made a way 11 weeks ago today to start doing my lives. And I have been so loved on, and I've been so supported, and I've been so encouraged. And I look around and I see all the labor that I put into this house, but I see all the bad memories from the verbal and the emotional, and I'm free. I'm free. I'm going out the door and I'm free. So y'all stay with me, and I hope that somewhere along the way you learn who I am. I'm Deborah. I'm 66 years old. Been married 33 years, and I'm going through a divorce. No one picks it, but you do the best you can. I love y'all. Stay with me.
Please head over to her page to watch her updates, and also don't forget to support her because she does need all the support she can get. Life journey and marriage is not one size fits all. There is no blueprint on how a marriage should go. What works for person A might not work for person B. But having a life experience is very important. Being in the know, being knowledgeable is very important, because in the world we live in, men are playing games, unending game, and they're all about manipulating women, controlling women. So for you to be able to protect yourself and be safe, you need to understand how this world works. You need to understand what marriage and relationship means to men, what men think of women, and how men view women when it comes to marriage and relationship. You need to have life experience. You might learn from someone, or you might experience that yourself. You just have to equip yourself. So when you get into a relationship, any kind of relationship with men, you will be on your toes and not let anyone use you and dump you. So if you choose to get married early, good for you. If you choose to get married late, still good for you. The ball is in your court. But do not fall mugu. Do not let men use you and dump you. If you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to hear men expose the main reason why some men get with women, and I will see you on your next one. Thanks for watching.